Every myth eventually outgrows its creator. King Arthur, Robin Hood, Dracula. Their stories evolve because generations of people continue telling them, adding to them, questioning them, believing them. The Necronomicon was no different. By the middle of the 20th century, something extraordinary had begun to happen. Readers no longer asked whether the Necronomicon existed, they simply wanted to know where they could find it. Long before the internet made conspiracy theories available at the click of a button, rumours travelled by word of mouth, through letters, bookshops, occult societies, university libraries. Readers wrote to publishers asking where they might obtain the Necronomicon. Some contacted librarians, convinced that restricted copies were being hidden from public access. Others claimed elderly relatives had once owned translations. A handful even insisted they had glimpsed the book in private collections before it mysteriously disappeared. No evidence ever emerged, yet the stories persisted, because the Necronomicon possessed something that genuine occult texts rarely achieve: mystique. Real grimoires often appeared dense, technical, obscure. The Necronomicon, by contrast, existed almost entirely within the imagination. Every reader pictured a different cover, different pages, different horrors. It became whatever they feared most. In 1977, everything changed. A large black volume appeared in American bookshops. Its title was simple: Necronomicon. Published by Avon Books and attributed to an enigmatic editor known only as Simon, the book claimed to contain genuine Mesopotamian magical rituals passed down through hidden traditions. The timing was perfect. The occult revival of the 1960s and 70s fueled public fascination with witchcraft, ceremonial magic, and forgotten religions. Bookshops were filled with works on astrology, tarot, alchemy, and demonology. The Necronomicon seemed to arrive as the ultimate forbidden text. Its pages contained invocations, protective circles, ancient names, mysterious seals. Readers were invited to believe they were holding the very book Lovecraft had described decades earlier. Scholars quickly pointed out the problems. The text bore little resemblance to Lovecraft's mythology. Instead, it drew heavily from Babylonian religion, Sumerian mythology, ceremonial magic, and modern occult traditions. The language was inconsistent, the history unverifiable, the connections largely speculative. Most academics dismissed it immediately, yet dismissal only strengthened its reputation, because forbidden books thrive on controversy. The more experts rejected it, the more certain readers became convinced that they had uncovered something extraordinary. Whether the Simon Necronomicon possesses any genuine magical significance remains a deeply personal question. Some practitioners view it as a creative work inspired by ancient traditions. Others regard it as a functioning grimoire in its own right. Still others dismiss it entirely. Library of the Occult takes no position on its supernatural claims. Instead, what interests us is something perhaps even more remarkable: its cultural impact. Thousands of copies were sold. Collectors treasured it. Occult bookshops proudly displayed it. It inspired new editions, companion volumes, essays, arguments. Entire communities formed around deciphering its ritual and debating its origins. A fictional book had inspired a real occult movement. Whether founded on belief, curiosity, or imagination, the boundary between fiction and reality had become almost impossible to separate. As the book's reputation grew, so too did its legends. Stories circulated of readers experiencing nightmares after opening its pages. Others claimed strange coincidences, electrical disturbances, unexplained whispers, objects moving, pets behaving unusually. Most of these accounts remain anecdotal. Many can be explained through psychology, expectation, suggestion, coincidence. Yet folklore has never depended upon proof, only repetition. Every generation adds new stories. The Necronomicon became what folklorists called a living legend, a story continually reshaped by those who encounter it, not because evidence demands belief, but because belief itself creates new stories. In that respect, the Necronomicon resembles many historical relics, holy grails, cursed jewels, haunted paintings, objects whose power lies less in what they are than in what people imagine them to be. Walk into any specialist occult bookstore today, and somewhere among the shelves you'll probably find a Necronomicon, perhaps several, leather bound, paperback, illustrated, annotated, scholarly. Some present themselves as literary curiosities, others hint for more mysteriously at his hidden wisdom. There is a delicious irony here. The world's most famous fictional grimoire has become easier to purchase than many genuine historical grimoires. What began as a literary device now occupies physical space within real libraries and private collections around the world. The impossible book has become tangible, not because Lovecraft wrote it, but because countless others continued writing after him. It is tempting to think that the story ends here. A fictional book becomes a publishing phenomenon. Readers debate its authenticity, collectors fill their shelves, but the Necronomicon's greatest transformation had not yet begun, because in the early 1980s, a young filmmaker from Michigan picked up Lovecraft's impossible book and gave it a face, a voice, teeth, blood. In doing so, he ensured that the Necronomicon would no longer belong solely to literature. It would become one of horror cinema's greatest icons. Next time we journey into the woods, we meet Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, The Haunted Cabin, and discover how the Evil Dead transformed an imaginary grimoire into one of the most recognizable cursed objects ever to appear on screen.